Hi, it's October 2nd, still in the afternoon / evening. Clean this. It's so dirty. I want to record a couple things. So, I mentioned that I was going to submit my poems. So I've been working on my poems. I've been just editing my poems and going through them again, and then I thought I was done. Yeah, and I was gonna do my notes, which I'm almost done with that. And then I was going to submit them after, and possibly even tomorrow. I was gonna still sit with it for a little bit. So sometimes I like to switch my workspace because I get kind of bored in the same spot. So sometimes I'll go into the living room and put the TV on in the background, and I might watch it, or I might just keep it, making noise while I'm working and typing. And so the Da Vinci Code came out. And I remember being so drawn to that movie when it came out. Just because I love mysteries and puzzles and putting stuff together and taking things apart, right? All the symbolism. But it's at the end. And for whatever reason, I'm getting emotional. But there's this part that is really important, that stands out, and it's exactly what I needed to hear. And it was the part when Mr. Landon, I think is Tom Hanks, tells a girl from Amelie, I don't remember her name, Sophie, that's the character, Sophie. After, the truth comes out. And he says to her, because she doesn't know what to do with this new information that she has, right? And, for those of you who haven't watched the movie, it's all about faith and religion, and then this alternate truth, if you will. And so it's the Catholic Church, so to speak, trying to cover up the awareness of this possible other truth. And so so Sophie is they're walking outside the church, one of the final scenes, and he turns, she asks him, what would you do, or something like that. I don't remember. I've seen some other shows in between already, but there's this part where he turns to her and he says, well, do you restore faith? Do you restore faith, or do you renew it? Will you restore the faith, or will you renew it? Something like that. I broke down the question. I put, do I restore faith, or do I renew it? In the sense of how I'm, because it goes back to the spoken word and how we need to be careful with what we say, right? Watch our words, watch your words, watch your words and your intentions. And I'm thinking about the poems that I wrote, and there were some where I'm rewriting them, and there's parts where I'm just like, do I really want to put that, right? Because a lot of it is just the projection, right? The emotional still, in that moment of time, I was still struggling emotionally, and now, right, needing to consider, is that something that will, destroy? That's what it was. Do I destroy faith, or do I renew it? Not restore, destroy. That's what it was. Do you destroy faith, or do you renew it? About how we use our words, right? Because this is just my truth, right? This is just my experience, with the potential that it can be yours as well, right? If you choose it, because it's all a matter of choice. To a certain point, it becomes a matter of choice. and still inherently believing that all roads lead to God, right? All roads lead to Source. So I need to be careful with the words that I use, because the last thing I would want is to scare people, And I need to be more mindful of that too. My sister called me. It happened to be the day that I got that dream of the clearing of the people. And she, I was catching her up, and I wasn't going to share the dream, but she didn't want to hear about the other news that I had, all the drama that's going on with these people in my life. Or not, they're not even in my life. That's the thing. They're not even in my life. They're at an extension of me. Like at arm's length. But she didn't want to hear about that. So I was like, okay. She wanted to know more. So I said, well, the other new thing is that I'm, learning more about my dreams, right? There's this pattern that I'm picking up. And so I shared that dream up with her, and she got scared. Her anxiety went up. She's like, that's scary. And I was like, oh, I forget. Yeah. Forget. She gets a little nervous. With that said, the video that posted today, chapter 27, episode 2, I think, because I haven't worked on the videos. It's the one where I'm having this dream. And I had forgotten about that dream. And I worried a little bit because I was just like, what does that one mean? And it was where my sister-in-law is on the stretcher, and she's being asked to be shocked again, but she's awake. So it's like she's asking to be shocked again. She's asking to be shocked. And then my sister's there, but she's freaking out. And then my aunt is there, whom I haven't had contact with. And she just wasn't getting it. The feeling that I got was that she just wasn't getting it. So there's 3. And I was reflecting on it just now. And I was like, that's the connection. That's the connection. There's 3 scenarios. 3 scenarios. They each represent a different group of people. Not that that's who they will be, but they represent 3 different groups of people. My aunt, who wasn't getting it in my dream, represented the group of people that wasn't aware, or it had to be the group that was lost, truly lost. My sister was symbolic because she was freaking out, right? Of the group of people that was in fear, that were freaking out in my more recent dream. And then my sister-in-law was the group of the people, the helpers. And this meant death and rebirth, death and being brought back to life, like reawakened, so to speak, right? Whatever word you want to put on it. She was already awake, but she kept asking for it, like the shock of it, the trauma of it. So in essence, going through the pain, right, of life, or the shock of death, right, having to die and being waken up again, or dying and rebirth, right? This theme of, we think of death as something that's at the end of our life, but really it could be the end of a cycle within your life. It could be the end of a lesson that you learned, where you become more awakened and you see the world in a different way, right? And so then now you're starting a new chapter in your life with this new pair of glasses, right? Until the next life event or the next intense moment, which when you're aware won't seem as challenging. It won't seem as challenging because you're already prepared, right? Each challenge, each life event, when depending on how you view it, right, will only prepare you for the next. Your soul will give you what you're able to tolerate, unless you're resisting the energy, the flow of it, in which case you're just learning the harder way, right? But that came to mind as I was having dinner. Because I was reflecting on, I before I realized, I panicked and I called my sister-in-law a couple of days ago, or yesterday. It was yesterday because that's when I was preparing it. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, and I asked her, "What are you doing this weekend? Like, where are you gonna go?" Like, because I freaked out. I the anxiety kicks in, and I'm just like, I want you to know this. I'm just gonna tell you this, right? And then I sent my sister a text. I'm just like, if they shock her, tell them to keep shocking her because that's what she's asking for, right? And my sister's freaking out. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, just in case, right? And I just sent her a text, and I'm just like, hey, I realized what it was about my dream, like, and I know what it means now. It's just a part of my dream, and so. But that's what it is. It was symbolic of the three groups of people. The three groups. The people who were going through the death and rebirth process, right? The reawakening, the becoming more aware, if you will, or just going through life events, still pushing through, right? Still being resilient because they're aware. And then the group of people that are just in chaos, and then the group of people that are just lost and don't get it. So then does the group of people who are in the chaos, are they aware and just fear it, maybe? Because my sister's aware of it. I mean, they're both aware of it. I've spoken openly to them both about what's been happening. I don't know. So they must know and just be afraid of it. They must know. And it's a choice, right? It's a choice. Versus those that don't know. So then is there a third option? Leaving it alone. Destroy faith, renew faith. Or do I leave it alone? So that happened. So I wanted to record on that because I made the connection from that dream that posted to the dream I just had a couple days ago. That was all. Just want to share that revelation. I mean, I know I laugh because there's nothing for me to do, right? I mean, could I freak out about it? I think I did. I went down the rabbit hole. I'm far past that now. I've accepted it, and I'm working with the energies. And again, the more I'm being open and trusting the process, trusting that I will not be led astray, right? Trusting my soul, that my soul will guide me, then that makes that comforts me. Like even last night, I was kind of torn, you know, just being nostalgic, and then just kind of thinking about these two people. This is funny because MJ put out a video today. The earth, the elements reading. She came back to doing that, and so I read. I'm all air, right? So I read the air one. It's the same thing. It's the same thing a year ago. Freaking hey, the same thing freaking a year ago about making a choice or something like that. And I'm just like, really, really, and then I was just like, but there's nobody in front of me. There's no one in front of me, so I don't have to worry about it. But I thought about it last night, and then I just looked up at my soul, and I was just like, I just choose you. You've been the one constant in my life this past year. Can I choose you? Can I just choose you? That's home. That's comfort. I feel safe when I choose my soul. So in essence, I'm choosing myself. I choose love. So yeah, those are my crazy thoughts. But alright, I need to finish my notes because I have a Zoom date with an old friend that reached out. I had another old friend, work friend. These are all work friends that reached out just to check in and see how I was doing. So that was nice. It was nice to hear from them again. It's nice that they reach out and check in. I need to get better at doing that because I'm getting busier. Alright, take care. Bye. Hi, my name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us. In whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth, this just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and we'll see what else comes next for me. So